Hello and welcome to Is This Good? The show where we boldly, conclusively, and scientifically decide what things in this big wide world are good. If this is your first time joining us, thank you for being here and good timing because we have a very important announcement, but we'll get to that in a quick second. I'm Matt Austin and with me are three amazing panelists from No Dunks, Jay Skeets and Jason Doyle, and from the hit F1 podcast No Breaks, a spicy man with spicy opinions. Graydon Gordian, welcome to Is This Good?
Thank you so much. I am so thrilled to be here and finally, conclusively, just clarify for all of you what of these topics are and aren't good. So I'm happy to be the expert on all of these.
Are you nervous at all?
No, not in the least bit.
Oh, you look so nervous.
Why would I be nervous when my opinion on all of the things we're going to discuss is inarguably the correct one? I'm just happy to share it with the world.
Wow.
That's right. I think you got a lot of qualifications to be here. You do have some strong opinions, and we have already, you haven't been on the show before, but in real life we've gotten into some spirited debates, shall we call them?
Yeah, I think that's accurate. I think that's a fair characterization. Okay,
well, we're actually going to get to one coming up in the first question. It's a little teaser, but if you have topics for future shows, send them to me at StartersMatt on Twitter or email us at isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Remember, you can also send in Settle This questions. That's wherein you need advice on a problem in your life or you need a judgment on a controversial topic, and we settle it. Last week, we had to decide if a man and his wife should have a second child. Okay, we can handle we can handle pretty much anything.
Do we have an update on that?
Did they?
Did they?
Yeah, he did a big drop load into her. And
Wow.
Yeah, 9 months from now, that should be happening. So.
A big drop load.
I actually changed my mind. I'm not ready for this. I need to go. I need to go.
I kind of backed up. You know that joke where it's like, or that tweet that's like, you, my wife and I are trying again. What I hear, I'm doing big loads of cum dumps in my wife's vagina.
Right.
And then I was like, well, I can't. Should I say dumps of cum in a vagina in the first 30 seconds of the show? Probably not. If you're watching live on YouTube, be good and vote in the polls. Help us take the pulse of the people. The premise of the show is very simple. I'm going to give you a topic, and you tell me if it's good. But first, guys, we have big news in the ITG community.
Okay.
And it's not just that one of our listeners is doing big dumps of cum. We have moved to our own dedicated feed. Right now, you can go wherever you listen to podcasts, search for Is This Good, and subscribe. I said you can do it, but I actually, you must do it.
Okay.
After today, the show will no longer be in the No Dunks feed, so if you want to keep hearing it, you'll need to subscribe to Is This Good. So please do. We'd love to have you be a part of the show. And please tell your friends and family about the podcast and steal their phones and forcefully require them to subscribe because it's now technically illegal not to.
Okay.
I know. Yeah. It's crazy, but those are the rules. Are you guys excited that we have a new home?
So excited.
Yeah.
Very pumped.
With after what you just said, we probably got canceled.
Thank God. Are they still allowing Spotify and YouTube still allowing this podcast to be published directly to it? Is it? Yeah.
Well, that was my goal, is to be in the No Dunks feed, cancel that, and then start my new home with a trail of destruction in my path. Yeah. I would say that we're on all platforms. Even Stitcher, which was, a little hard to get onto, I have to say. Spotify, for some reason, last time I checked, if you search for Is This Good, it's not coming up yet. I'm sure it will by the time this podcast is over. But if you search my name, Matt Austin, it comes up.
Okay.
Maybe during a break, I'll see if I can get an update on that for you.
Right.
But
Cameron in the chat is asking, are we still going to be on YouTube? And I think the answer is yes, right?
Yes. Yeah, the answer is yes. I did start an Is This Good YouTube, but I was going to wait for next week because it's just a lot. It's just a lot, Cameron. Okay. But everything's going to stay the same. We're going to have great guests on. JD is going to be still producing the show. You have Skeets and Tass and Trey dropping by. Graydon, maybe if he.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see how this goes.
He hasn't even shared a take yet.
We'll see if we're friends after this is over.
We will see if we're friends, and we're gonna have some amazing guests coming on as well, and some different little things we're gonna be dumping into the feed, much like our listener is. Well, you get it.
Yeah.
Okay, first topic. Sharing plates in restaurants. Is this good? Now, before you answer this, Graydon, can we talk for a second?
Yeah, yes. I would love to talk about this, Matt.
Okay, well, I'd need to take you back to the year 2018, back when I lived in Atlanta. Now, I believe I had some friends in town, and it was the weekend, and we all decided to go for a big group dinner together. We went to an Italian restaurant in Atlanta called 246. And as we sit down and we've got some aperitifs going, we all decide, like, okay, well, we're a big group. Let's just order for the table. Danielle, Tass's wife, takes over, as she often does. We get some starters, some Caesar salads on the table, some meatballs, perhaps a frito misto. And we start talking about the pastas. We're going to have a couple cacio e pepes on the table, some spaghetti pomodoro, an orecchiette, maybe even a spicy rigatoni vodka. We're going to sample all the flavors of this restaurant, and everyone's into it. And then a lone dissenting voice comes from the table, and that voice was yours. And you said, yeah, well, I want my own cacio e pepe.
Correct. That is what I wanted my own dish of.
Okay.
You can verify this story.
I can verify this story, and it doesn't surprise me in the least bit. Cacio e pepe is my favorite pasta dish. It is my favorite preparation of cacio e pepe here in the city of Atlanta. It doesn't surprise me that I would go to 246 and think, gosh, all I want is just a nice bowl of cacio e pepe. I don't need the rigatoni. I don't need the orecchietta. I just would like my own. That doesn't surprise me in the least bit that I would say such a thing.
Okay. So far everything's checked out. So far everything's checked out. Now, there was some slight resistance. Daniel's like, oh, you sure you want your own? Because we're going to order a couple bowls for it, because we're a lot of people. He said, no, I really want my own. And I think most normal people then decide to let it go and move on with this lovely meal. But that's where I stepped in, and
and perhaps had Danny and I just finished the conversation, we would have come to an amicable agreement about the matter.
Perhaps. But unfortunately, I was drunk. Not drunk, but I was feeling loose, and I couldn't let it go. And I said, really? Everyone else is going to share, but you're going to order your own thing. You say yes. I say, so you're not going to have anything else that's on the table? You're like, no. I'm like, really? You're not going to have any of these other dishes? You're like, no. It's like, what about the spirit of the community of sharing? Like, the table speaks with one voice. You say, no, I want my own. And I really pressed it so far past the point of good manners that we ended up getting into a bit of a tiff about this. There was some shouting at the table.
I actually don't remember the shouting part of this, admittedly. I don't remember, us actually getting into a fight about this.
Well, the next morning I was embarrassed.
It was tense.
It was tense. For a moment. I was embarrassed.
I don't actually remember, the tense part of it. I just remember us, disagreeing on it.
Okay, well, again, I woke up, I was embarrassed that I cared so much.
Maybe it's my utter lack of shame that I woke up the next morning with not a single drop of embarrassment, but mere righteous indignation.
Yeah. Well, what you don't know, Graydon, is that this happened 5 years ago, and I started this podcast just so we could actually...
just to challenge you.
We're 10 episodes in, and we're finally getting to the point of the show. Yeah. So now we can get back to the question. Sharing plates... Is this good? Graydon, you can comment on the story, and I guess I'll just ask you, why do you hate sharing?
You are correct. I am not pro sharing plates if somebody does not want to share. I will make the caveat that it's if you want to share with somebody, it's not as if literally trying different things is inherently bad. It's not that. It's that if somebody has one dish they would like an ample amount of it. That is the only thing they would really like to have. They should be able to order it and enjoy the meal they want. Enjoy it in the portion size that they would like, rather than have to split it and share and only get a small piece of the dish that they actually had originally desired. That
now, I do understand that, but what if we were all watching a movie together and then we all agree on the movie, and then you're like, you know what? I just want to watch YouTube clips on my phone. What about the sense of community, the sense of coming to an agreement?
Watching a movie together, A, is that really a good use of our friend group time? and B, that is actually a shared experience. You're at the meal together. You are enjoying your time together. You don't have to literally eat the same thing. When I put something in my mouth, it doesn't impact your taste buds, like, or like the way you feel. You can have your own. You can have your own meal.
So when you take communion, you're like, you know what? I don't feel like a
When I take communion, yeah, okay, so, yes, okay.
Do you think it should be agreed upon before we're going out for dinner? Like, we are all going to go out. Do I need to know before I sit down that you're doing your own thing?
I'm not going to be so legalistic and say it has to be agreed upon. I do think, you know, bringing it up like, oh, this place is family style, like, oh, I want to try a bunch of things, probably puts me mentally in a better place to want to do it. I go in with the part of the problem is that I wasn't kidding about my story earlier. I do really like the cacio e pepe at number 246. So I was like, oh, that's all I want. Oh, we're going? That's great. I get to have this pasta dish I really like. So I kind of came in thinking I wanted something very specific. You could come in with different attitudes. Matt, you know my buddy Vance. My buddy Vance and I went to another Italian place, but a different type of Italian cuisine, pizza. We went to Antico pizza place over on the west side the other day. We did split a pie. You know why? Because like we always kind of presume we would. Pizza's very splittable. I get it. I went in with an open heart and an open mind. But, you know, so part of it's about the attitude.
Now, what if we went to a Chinese restaurant, Graydon? Would you order your own plate of chow mein?
No, I mean, I think it's fair to say that like I feel like most Chinese restaurants, the portions are like meant to be shared. Like the way it's presented is meant to be shared. And you could even have an ample amount of a dish if there's one thing you really liked and not really detract from anybody else's ability to enjoy that
and that's
dish.
what people are pointing out in the stream team. The counter, if like for Matt to sleep at night to have you included in the group meal, but you really want this pasta is, well, why not just do the old, let's get 3 of those.
Well, we actually did end up getting multiple cacio e pepes, and really, not that many people enjoyed them. We had a bunch of it left over. We actually had a ton of it left over, and it's terrible as a leftover. It's probably the worst pasta to have as a leftover.
It congeals.
Yeah. We had a lot left over.
Yeah, but how do you feel about that?
I mean, it felt like, you know, first as argument, then as farce, kind of, right? That we had so much cacio e pepe left over after my ability to have the amount of cacio e pepe I wanted.
We needed you, Graydon. We needed you, okay?
Was the impetus. It just felt...
Yeah, that was a spite order from Matt. I believe that's what was happening here. You couldn't let go.
Did you spite order me?
That he wanted his own pasta. So you're like, we're going to show him that we're going to order so much of what he's having as his own meal that it's like, look how much you could have had.
You did that out of spite?
Did you?
I
didn't. Look, no, it was Danielle on the order.
Okay, fair enough. I think Danielle probably wasn't trying to spite order me. I think she was probably trying to make everybody happy.
Yeah, she thought two for the table would be good. Let me give you some bullet points. You tell me what you agree with and disagree with. The benefits of sharing plates. More community. Who could dislike community? Let me go through them here.
Okay.
Lets you taste more dishes. Lets you taste more dishes and not feel overly full. You don't get bored with a single taste profile in your dish. You have more than just pecorino and pepper for the cacio e pepe. We can all have a shared experience. So I'm tasting something, and then you're also tasting the same thing. So now we're like, wow, this orecchietti's great. So now it's just bringing the table together. So what didn't you like about that?
Well, let's go through the cons.
Okay.
The cons are in a group order. Maybe there's something you'd really like.
Maybe
there's not enough of it ordered, and you don't get as much as you wanted.
There's something you kind of didn't want, somebody else wanted, and now you end up like eating a portion of it, kind of because you're trying to try everything, or there's not enough of the thing you actually wanted.
Okay, I would add some people, not me. I'm just like trying to make the case here. Your fork's in there, and then my fork's coming in, and like,
is there a hygiene issue?
Well, some people will say this. Some people will, not me.
Well, it's not like there's like a pandemic going around.
Yeah.
And then I guess the other part, and I don't know which side to put this in, because here's where I kept going. It was like, we're having a big group dinner. And like, I want to point out, there was a lot of people, right? It was like 8 to 10 people.
8 to 10 people.
And this is a family sharing type place. It's, big pastas and pizzas and stuff like that. It's like, what are we then doing come bill time?
Oh.
See, this is the part. Now, this is for people that like are anal about the bill. I also don't care. I make a lot of money podcasting. But
wow, good for you.
People will be like, well, now what? Like, are we splitting this 8 ways? You had your own thing. Are you getting your own bill?
It
What about the
definitely
wine? You
complicates
drank.
things.
This becomes this like confusion.
But
for
then
some people.
we also have the same problem where, maybe I've been out, my wife who was vegan for many years, we've been out, we've shared things, everybody's shared, we've gotten a bunch of stuff. Overwhelmingly, the most expensive items on the menu are kind of animal protein portions of meat things. I was at dinner once, we got a whole like roasted pig thing. She didn't enjoy a single portion of it.
Not even the apple that was in the pig's mouth?
But I paid for two people, because I wasn't trying to make a fuss about it. I just was like, sure, we'll pay our part as 2 attendees at the dinner. But the reality is that like she didn't enjoy the dishes that were the overwhelming portion of the receipt.
Yeah.
So
but I would also argue, even if you all ordered your own dishes, typically, and you're out with a couple, let's say, so you're 4 people, you would typically split the bill 2 ways anyways, wouldn't you?
It kind of depends on. Actually, I would say I almost let the waiter take like the lead on that. Like, do they kind of suggest it's easy to split it? I kind of would just say like, just split it, and they're like, oh, if it's easy to itemize it. I'm like Phil. I actually don't.
Who?
Sorry. I like another guy. I'm like I don't tend to fuss over the receipt too much. I think like when we're all eating out, it's just like let's just split it. That's not for me the big con. I don't overthink that.
JD, where are you at on this?
Very much in favor of shared plates. I hear the complaints about the bill. It can be a problem, especially if you've got a vegan or a tray doesn't drink. That's a big thing because I eat meat and I drink a lot of booze. So
hey, you must make a lot of money podcasting.
Oh boy,
so much
money. So I always end up on the right side of the bill when it comes to that. But I'm with you, Matt. I enjoy the community of it. I like, especially with you, Matt, because you will order things that I wouldn't think to order or just not be, if I'm not feeling particularly adventurous, I will have a little bite of something and then go, oh, that's actually something I tasted something new today. So and I do like the community of talking about the meal that we're having because there is a lot of this is good. You got to try this. You got to try this. You got to try this.
You got enough down there? Oh yeah. Send that down. Exactly. We'll swap you. We'll send you this.
I just want to clarify. I have shared many a plate in my day.
I've not what it sounds
been to
like.
Meals with all of you where we've shared plates. I just think if somebody doesn't want to share, they shouldn't be bullied into sharing. They shouldn't be peer pressured into sharing.
Fair.
Matt, you're like the guy from I Think You Should Leave who's looking across the table, the professor who's like, I'd like a bite of your burger. Like you're just mad that looks like a delicious burger. So you're just, when in fact, I was the one who ordered the burger.
First of all, you don't need to give me that because I've already ordered 2 other burgers for the table, if that's what we're doing. Okay, well, I like sharing because I don't make a lot of money podcasting. What are the people saying, Skeets?
The people overwhelmingly think sharing plates at a restaurant, is it good? Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yes.
I'm not surprised at that. I think I humbly admit I'm in the minority on this one.
Okay,
I don't believe that most people agree with you.
Yeah, 78% said yes. And I will say I have been out to a lot of meals with you over the last decade or so.
Yeah.
Only twice in a group setting have you sat this one out, did your solo mission.
Actually, somewhat recently.
Recently at Kimball House.
I know, I did. Recently I did.
Now, Kimball House, I will add, that one was a little more frustrating for me, not as much as the first time with Matt. It was, you were in and out.
I know, I was indecisive.
And your wife had to tell you, you're out. Right?
Skeets is right.
You literally were in and out. Like, which one are you doing? Are we doing a group dinner or not?
He's right, and I deserve to be chastised for that. I was very indecisive as to whether I would participate in the shared plates or not. He's 100% correct to criticize me for what was not even bad decision making, as a lack of decision making.
Yeah.
I deserve that. He's not wrong.
Well, I'm glad to hear you admit that. And this podcast
You, on the other
hand,
hand, this is not settled, my friend.
I do believe people should be bullied into it because sometimes they don't know what's best for them, and you have to bully them into it. But that's just me. Again, I do apologize for that moment that you don't even really remember, but it has stuck with me. It has stuck with me for 5 years. Okay, moving on. Lamonte S asks, calling service workers who wear name tags by their name. Is this good? Calling service workers who wear name tags by their name. So you're at Kroger, the guy behind the deli counter has a name tag on, and you say something like, hey, Bruce, can I get a 1/4 pound of the boar's head oven gold roasted turkey? And then, you know what, Bruce, add maybe some Havarti. Oh, slice it thin, though, Bruce. Thanks, Bruce.
No, not good. I'm saying not good. Not under any circumstance.
In the way he's saying it every single time he says something. What about once?
No, absolutely not.
Well, I think 100% of people would agree what Matt just did is unconscionable. Using the name Bruce that many times in 2 to 3 sentences, unacceptable.
I think under any circumstances, one time saying Bruce, not acceptable.
Wow.
I have not been properly introduced to Bruce. I don't know him. I don't even know that his name actually is Bruce. He's just wearing a name tag.
Yeah.
One time, I worked at the CN Tower. I had just started. It was my first day. My name tag wasn't ready. I had to walk around with the name tag Ed. I've never
you do look like an Ed, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't blink twice.
I don't even know how to take that because Ed got abused that day, and it wasn't just because it was his first day. It was like people making fun of guys named Ed. Is this a thing? Like.
Wait, people were mocking you because
People were mocking me, Ed. I
I
got 2 separate Mr. Ed references.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got just a kid
you were
going,
working at this.
"Hi, Ed." Like, what? And then when I went to Jason, I had no problems. And there's a psychopathic killer named Jason. Nothing about Jason. But Ed's, I just felt bad. And now in this day and age, it's like erectile dysfunction right there on your name tag.
Wow.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you don't want to be
Ed.
called Ed. If all Eds are now Edward or Edwin or whatever the
Or
full
Ted.
version is, or Ted. Is Ed short for Ted?
Yeah.
Well, Ted's short for Edward, isn't it?
Yeah. My uncle was a Ted, and his name was Edward.
Is it
Yeah.
interesting? I have a Ted uncle, and his name is Theodore. So,
Yeah. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Could be wrong.
no.
Maybe
But
wrong
the point
about
is,
that.
it wasn't your name tag.
it wasn't my name tag. My name wasn't Ed. I feel bad for. To this day, I feel bad for Eds because of that one day that I walked around as an Ed, and.
But you didn't like somebody coming on saying, "Hey, Ed, take me to the top." CN Tower? No?
I prefer it if it was my name, but even still, I do. Here's the thing. I did not want to be wearing a name tag. Anybody wearing a name tag does
Doesn't
not
want
to
to.
be wearing a name tag.
That's
so,
a terrific point.
so why would you presume to call me by my name? I'm going to call Bruce Sir. Could you put a little bit more Havarti, a little less mayo there, sir? Thank you, sir. Not Bruce. We're not friends. If he said, "Hey man, call me Bruce," then I turn into Matt. When he started this, "Thanks, Bruce. More of this, Bruce. See you later, Bruce." I will call that guy Bruce 18 times in that interaction.
Yeah.
But until I am given permission to by that person, I am not saying that name.
In general, you guys are like you refer, whether it's Sir or Bruce, or you're referring to people directly more often than I am, I think.
Right.
Yeah, but
I'm
it's,
inclined to agree with you, though, JD. I'm inclined to agree. Maybe I tack on like a "Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Bruce" at the very end as a gentle, like a goodbye. At most, I think that would be my most.
You don't start with it.
I definitely don't come up and be, Bruce. What's up? What's up, buddy? Which people will do. You'll see it.
Yeah.
You'll see it.
People were saying in the stream team, it's a boomer move.
Yeah.
It's a
100%.
boomer move.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
And the name tag is there to get them in trouble as well. And that's when you go to the manager and say,
Yeah.
"I just had a real big problem with Bruce.
Yeah.
He just spit in, or I just had that guy over there. He just spit in my sandwich. Oh yeah, what's his name? Bruce.
You're
right
saying,
on his name tag.
You're saying
Bruce.
Karen's came up with the name tag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what I think.
That's right. Bruce didn't slice the Vardy thin, JD. I told him. I said, Bruce.
That was
You sliced
you
thin.
specifically said that. I remember.
I did, Bruce. I asked Jill about this because she used to work at Trader Joe's, and she says, and they wear name tags. She said she hated it. Obviously, it's not their choice to wear name tags; they're required to. She said 95% of the time, maybe she even said 99%, it's men doing it.
Yeah.
Going up to women.
It's a serious dad move.
Yeah.
A nice
Big
excuse
time
to
dad
stare at someone's chest.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah,
that. It's a
there's
creepy
that.
move.
Oh.
And if you're working at a location where you are at, let's say, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, you don't want anyone to know any personal information about you. Mm-hmm. And I think that people think, I'm making this like it's so transactional, but when I call them by their name, it's friendlier. I actually think it's sort of almost more patronizing because they don't know your name.
Right.
You didn't, as you said, JD, have an introduction. And frankly, it is a transaction. What would be most helpful to that person, I'm guessing, is to be polite and efficient and say thank you and get the hell out of there, not to like belabor it with this like calling them by their name when you weren't introduced,
right?
And they didn't choose to be to have that name out there. So I it's funny. I got the email and I was like, that's a weird question that Lamonte asks. I've never thought about this, but then I was thinking, but I've also never done it, so there must be a reason. And isn't that just amazing that even when I'm not thinking about things, I'm always doing the correct thing anyways?
Wow.
Incredible.
I'm inclined to agree with all of this. I'm inclined to agree that I think your point, JD, and Jill kind of reiterating, nobody who wears a name tag is happy they're wearing a name tag.
Yeah, that's a great point.
0% of them are excited to put that name tag on. So, referring to them by their name, whether it be a pseudonym such as Ed or their true name like Bruce, they just don't appreciate it.
Skeets, what are the people saying?
The people say, is it good to call workers by their name tags, to reference them by their name if they're wearing a name tag? 70% say no.
Okay.
Wow.
Good.
So
more people would rather call a service employee by their name tag than would not share a plate. I mean, incredible. Who are these listeners?
Well, to merge both of those together, this is a bit of a cool story, bro. But do you remember New Sky, the late night Chinese restaurant in Toronto? There were when we were younger, we'd go to this every weekend, right? At 2 in the morning.
Went there with you.
Yeah, I think you have
in Toronto.
been.
Yeah.
And so we were always going.
Ordered his own plate of chow mein.
I sat in the corner by myself.
His own cold tea, please, sir. So we obviously got to know the people working there, the wait staff, because we were always there, and they were great, and they put up with us, and I don't think we were too much of a nuisance at 2 a.m, even especially comparably to other people coming in. But years down the line, we were like, Johnny, what's up? And then 5 years in, calling this guy Johnny every time we saw him at 2 a.m. He tells us before he's leaving, that's not my name. They just gave me a name tag, and he's always had it.
Oh my god!
3 people had name tags that were not their names. Now there's a bit of I'm sure they just here's an American name. Sure. Here you go, Johnny or Johnny from now on. There's that for sure because they were Chinese Canadians, but it's man, that hurt. I was I wish we had known your real name. So really, I think what I'm getting at is it would have been better if he didn't have a name tag, and we naturally asked him his name at some point after multiple encounters with this gentleman. So Wendy, Johnny, who else was there, Matt, that were definitely not their names?
Wendy, that's a good
Wendy was a memorable
Wendy
name.
is sure, that's an English word. I wouldn't call it an English name.
Yeah.
It is close to Wendy. I will give them that.
Yeah, it was Wendy on her name tag, though.
I think if you want to address somebody who's serving you in any context by their name, whether or not they have a name tag, ask them their name. Say, introduce yourself. Say, hi, I'm Graydon. Thanks. What's your name? And introduce yourself. And if they, and then you've, I don't know, at least, established. But even that, I would just never do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm making excuses here for maybe instances in which would be appropriate, but I also don't do that unless I'm like a repeat customer.
Yeah.
Like if I'm seeing
Because then
somebody
I think at a certain point
often,
it might get rude that you don't know this person's name that you're seeing once a week or whenever.
I would never do that at like random deli counter but if I'm like I'm going to the same bar all the time, I'm at the same coffee shop all the time, I see this person every morning when I get my coffee, at some point I'll probably introduce myself because it feels awkward to not know their name.
Well, there is this scenario where the wait staff will it seems like it's mandatory. It's like, hi, I'm Janice. I'll be taking care of you today. Yeah. And I always have to resist the urge to be like, oh, hi, I'm Jason, and this is Rachel. You know what I mean? Like, introduce the...
Here's my ID.
I have to stop myself from doing that.
But to that point, like, if you're at a restaurant and somebody says, hi, I'm Janice. I'll be taking your order tonight. And then, like, when they're walking by you, Janice, I need more iced tea. I also think it's kind of like a jerk move. Just make eye contact, and they'll come over in a timely manner.
Right.
Okay, well, in conclusion, I agree. I agree with Graydon. Introduce yourself. Say, hi, my name is Graydon, and despite what everyone else at this table is doing, I would like my own cashier. Okay. All right, we got to go to commercial. When we come back, though, speaking of a boomer move, and perhaps even embarrassingly a millennial move, we're going to talk about how we've been embarrassing ourselves for the last 10 years in workplace environments.
Licks. What the heck was that? Well, the first part was Danielle, my wife, during birth. That was her breathing pattern. And the second part was licks. That was me. I thought while she was giving birth that if I added in a licks at the end, it would remind her of how relaxed we are sleeping on our Helix. And she thought that was
licks. I get it.
And she thought that was the dumbest thing that she'd ever heard. Did that actually happen? No. But maybe I could have tried Midnight Lux, like our actual Helix bed type. Maybe that would have worked better than the licks, because the Midnight Lux is one of Helix's 14 unique mattresses, including a collection of luxury models, a mattress for big and tall sleepers, and even a mattress that's just made for kids. Listen, I think about my Midnight Lux and I get relaxed. Didn't work with Danielle, worked for me. Helix knows there's no better way, though, to test out a new mattress than by sleeping on it in your own home, so you can order it. Get it to your house, and you have a 100-night risk-free trial. And you can send it back, no questions asked. Try out your new Helix mattress, see how your body adjusts, and if you decide it's not the best fit, you're welcome to return for a full refund. So I guess you guys aren't relaxed when I do the licks.
I was stressing a little, to be quite honest with you. I wasn't sure what was going on there.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about starting an ASMR playlist on our YouTube channel, just making some noises. See if people latch onto that.
Noises.
Yeah, the Classic Factory's turning into an ASMR factory.
I like it.
We've got that buzz in our ears. Doesn't really work for ASMR.
Yeah, that's not putting me to sleep.
No, it's not. Helix will put you to sleep, though. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/nodunks. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
Welcome back to the show. Remember to subscribe to the new Is This Good feed, available everywhere that you listen to podcasts. Guys, last week I came across an article in the Daily Mail, and this is the headline: Why Nobody Should Be Using the Thumbs Up emoji in 2022, and the 10 symbols only old people use that have Gen Z rolling their eyes. So before I get to the question, I'm just going to read you some highlights from this article.
Okay.
Sending a thumbs up can be seen as passive-aggressive and even confrontational, according to Gen Z, who claim they feel attacked whenever it is used. A 24-year-old summed up the Gen Z argument, saying it is best, quote, never used in any situation, as it is hurtful. Quote, no one my age in the office does it, but the Gen X people always do it. Took me a bit to adjust and get it out of my head that it means they're mad at me, he added. My last workplace had a WhatsApp chat for our team to send info to each other, and most of the people there just replied with a thumbs up. I don't know why, but it seemed a bit hostile to me. So the question is, Gen Z's stance on emojis. Is this good? Is it?
No, this is ridiculous.
Great, did you work with you must have worked with some Gen Z people. You're in marketing. That's a young person's game.
Sure.
Okay, well, do they find it hurtful when you use emojis?
Let's hope not, because I'm out there giving them a thumbs up all the time. I'm out there. Oh, great job,
Oh,
guys.
they're talking about you.
And you think
That's what's going
all
on.
the while they hate me because
Yeah.
they think I'm condescending to them and I'm being hurtful.
That's right.
Is their choice of language.
That's right. Well, they were saying that, like, if you just put a thumbs up, does that mean you will do the thing? Does it mean you just agree? Or is it just confirmation that you got the message? And to that I say, if someone said okay, that would be the same thing.
Yeah.
By saying okay, are you saying, yes, I will do what you're asking me to? Are you saying, yes, I agree with you? Are you saying, oh, I got your message?
Right.
So I don't know.
Contextual.
The thumb is just easier, and it adds just a little color into the chat.
Right.
You may have gotten got here, Matt. I don't know. Stream Team is saying that article, clickbait BS.
Wow.
Oh, God. Even the Daily Mail, Skeets. The Daily Mail. They also had an article about Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde that was headlined "When Harry Met Salad." Okay, now if you get that headline, that is a great headline.
That's good. That is good.
You know what?
Why do we care what they think?
Well, I live with 2 Gen Zs, actually,
Yeah.
so I care. I asked Jackson, I was like, do you ever use the thumbs up emoji? He was like, no, I don't. And I was like, well, what does it mean to you? And he was like, I don't know. It's like you're saying okay, but you're also kind of being a bit of a dick about it. I'm like,
Interesting.
so like
Okay.
passive aggressive? And he's like, yeah, passive aggressive. That's a good word for it. And it sort of made me think, you know how sometimes this is not an emoji, but if you said, hey, I'm going to meet you here, blah, 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 and I want you to bring this, and then you just respond with a simple K, like the letter K.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit like, you can read that a bunch of different ways. Like, yeah, all right, okay. Like you can't even bring yourself to say okay. It's one letter. It's the easiest thing to click, which is kind of what the thumbs up is, because it's right there. Like, it's easy to do thumbs up. So I think it's complete bullshit and I think it's stupid, but I can see how Gen Zers could take that as being a bit passive aggressive.
I acknowledge it's not enthusiastic. I acknowledge it's not like, it's not praising, it's not super positive. It's
Right.
not like great job or like I'm really excited. It's just an acknowledgement really of something. That's all it is. It's like,
Right.
got it. Understood. Okay. I honestly think okay. And maybe sometimes that comes off as passive aggressive because you're looking for more affirmation, and merely getting an okay when you were hoping for an enthusiastic response feels underwhelming. But I wouldn't go so far as to say it's condescending or hurtful.
Yeah, but these people are like, oh, when managers that are millennials or Gen Xers or boomers are doing this, it makes me wonder, like, is this hostile? Is my boss mad at me? Guess what? Every generation has felt like their boss is mad at them or that they're not doing it.
Yeah.
That is true.
That's going to happen. Don't blame the emojis for that. That's
the
gonna
emoji
happen
didn't
either
do
way.
anything. That's a great point.
The emoji didn't hurt anyone. I do have to say, the one thing that makes me sympathetic is, I don't know if Skeets and JD, you would remember this, but when emojis first started, I sound like I'm 100 years old. When emojis first started being used more commonly, I honestly thought that the laughing, crying emoji was sarcastic and passive aggressive.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I remember
You
this.
did, yeah.
like in a tweet, if someone would respond to you like, oh yeah, like great point, like like, and so then people started using it as a genuine means of saying, oh, that was very funny. But I couldn't, it took me honestly years to get to the point where it didn't feel passive aggressive to me.
I have a question. Are Gen Zers in general, are they more earnest emoji users, and that's where kind of the hurt comes from, is because they perceive it as sarcastic, or what they are is they're very sarcastic emoji users, and therefore they're perceiving all sorts of emojis as
I think it's that they're not using emojis at all because they're chuggy.
Excuse me?
First they came for our gifts. Okay, we can't be having Kermit the Frog spinning around in a pool on here. Okay. And then now they're coming for our emojis, and they're not. I just think that they're not using them because they're uncool and lame.
They think emojis are sus, but I think they're bussing.
Well, yeah.
Bet.
How do you do, fellow kids?
I also think that you know what I'm talking directly to Gen Z here, and you are a wonderful generation. You know what I like most about Gen Z is that they have decided to hate Harry Potter. Because as an we were too late for Harry Potter, and I like that they're just like, no, that sucks. But all office jargon is passive aggressive. Like if someone says, "As per my last email," that means like, why the fuck didn't I fucking wrote this to you already? Why didn't you do it? Yeah. Hope this helps. After this, I'm done. Don't ask me for anything else. Friendly reminder. I've never given my friend a friendly reminder. So
as I said in my last email.
Exactly. So I just think, you're going to feel like people are mad at you at the office. The higher ups are mad at you. And you're going to feel like communication is passive aggressive. I just think that you're blaming emojis when it's not the emoji's fault.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Look, a picture is worth 1,000 words. It's a tiny little picture.
It's not really a picture, is it?
Well, it's tiny.
How is that a picture?
It ain't words.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I guess I'm a little just fascinated that it obviously can mean one thing to us and our generation, and then something completely different to someone that's 30, 40 years younger than us, or I guess 30 years younger than us.
Yeah, there's always a split with the generations of language. I mean, fat is very different.
Fat is using fat as the example is actually like the oldest example you could have come up.
That's exactly right.
When the kids say that something is sick, I get concerned that it's ill. Oh no, but ill is all. Okay, shit.
But this is all that's happening, really, but just these emojis, and a part of it, you said it, is like they grew up with them. They were when they were born, they were there. When drops of loads of cum were deposited, you know where, then they were here with emojis. Now I would do some water droplets, an eggplant. Yes. Now I don't even know. Maybe they're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't. I asked Jackson, what is your favorite emoji? I expecting the eggplant, but it wasn't. It was the skull. Just a straight up skull, which I've started using for the most hilarious thing.
Dead funny.
I'm dead. You've killed me.
Yes.
I'm dead.
Yes, correct.
You have killed me. I am deceased.
Yeah.
Which I love. I love that emoji. But I use do you have the top 10 no-nos there, Matt? Because I use all of them. All of them. Dale.
Number 1, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Number 2, red love heart. How could that be passive aggressive? Gen Z doesn't believe in love.
They don't like the red love heart.
They don't like it. They don't like it.
I don't know. I'm starting to think this is fake. They are trolling us, I think.
Is that is it like politics ruin the okay hand? No, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you think this is like that? What's that thing, JD, where was the New York Times in the 90s called someone that worked at Sub Pop and was like, could you tell us, like, this grunge thing seems to be a trend. Can you give us the cool words that she just made up, like, hanging on the flippity flop?
I think that might be happening here. And they're just sitting back, watching, laughing, now listening to this, dying. They think we're offended by the hearts up emojis. These fucking idiots. That's what they're doing.
You're hearing from JD's kids who are Gen Z that they don't use emojis.
Well, I didn't say that. I've seen emojis. Every contact they have is covered in emojis. Like there's the name, but at least 4 or 5 emojis next to each of them.
Oh, they have emojis like as part of their like name in their phone or something. Yeah.
And it means something?
Like I don't know. There's just weird emojis next to, one of his friends. I'm like, what does this mean? And he's like, it's just random. I'm sure it's not just
JD. They're doing drugs. Those are drugs.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, keep going with this list. Yeah, what else you
got? The check mark.
Okay.
The check.
Poo.
Very passive aggressive.
The poo. I get
the poo is timeless.
Oh, I was gonna say I get
poo.
removing the poo from the lexicon. It feels
the poo's happy. It's got googly eyes.
Happy. Yeah, he's happy. But I was never a big poo guy though. I use
it all the time. Rachel will text me, "What you doing?" Poo emoji. Done.
Well, you just got to do toilet too, so you're gonna be doing it all the
Guys,
time.
is that good? Oh, it's very good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Full review.
Other episode
soon.
on the other channel.
That's right. Hey, when we have our own channel, we could do things like JD's new toilet. Is this good? We hop on for 5 minutes.
On the toilet.
Each of us.
Yeah.
Wait, take a
We're
turn.
each on the toilet.
Yeah.
And we do it. That's why you should subscribe to Is This Good. All right, then let me just get the rest of these out there. The laughing, crying face, monkey eye cover, clapping hands. Though, is it clapping hands or the prayer hands?
Yeah, right.
Who knows? Lipstick kiss mark and grimace face. Actually,
Oh, love
I
grimace
will
face.
say about the grimace face, like this one with a lot of teeth.
Always.
Like, this is awkward. Back in the day when I was online dating, I was talking to this girl. And we were getting to the point where we were going to plan, like, actually seeing each other. And so I said something like, how's 7 p.m. at this bar? And she writes back with that face, the grimace, like that. And I was like waiting for something else, and then nothing came. And I was like, so you don't want to go? So then I had to just write back, I don't, do you not want to go? And she's like, of course I want to go. Again, no. And I'm like, does she not realize that that's the grimace face? I was like, well, why would you put the awkward, like, yee face? And she's like, no, that's cheesin'. That's the cheesin' face.
Jesus.
Teasing like it's like a.
Yeah, she's pumped.
Yeah.
Super happy.
Gritting her teeth so much because you can't wait.
I can't wait to go to that bar.
And I was like, no, that's the awkward face. And she's like, why would it be the awkward face if, like, all the teeth are showing, like the person's smiling? And I was like, oh my God, I can't even believe I have to meet up with you now in person.
Yeah, red flag using the word cheesin'. Anyways.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting that with friends or people you start random arguments about kind of nonsense things? Like, let's say you're at dinner with a friend and he's just trying to order a dish that he enjoys.
Now, I want to know if
you might pick
I
a
want to
fight
know
about
if
that.
you
You might pick about fight with a potential romantic prospect about her use of emojis.
Fight early, fight often. You know what I mean? Fail quickly.
Did you
That's what I
share?
say.
Did you share plates with her on that?
Yeah.
At that restaurant.
I think after that, I was like, whew, we are just having drinks. And then we're getting out of here. What are the people saying, Skeets?
Oh, is this good? Gen Z's stance on emojis. So we went with that as the actual terminology. 84% say no.
Wow.
Yeah. Not good at all.
They get it.
Okay,
Gen Z.
boomers.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are standing up for emojis. Good. That's good to hear. All right, let's do one more before the next break.
Sure.
I think we can do this one relatively quickly. Aziz J asks, wearing pro gear when you're a beginner, is this good? Graydon, I'm curious, do you have any thoughts on this? Because I get made fun of this for
Yeah, I remember that
with a
time you
new
went
hobby.
hiking.
Yeah. He went.
I remember that time you went
hiking, but
and you
before-
bought like $400 worth of gear so you could go on like a 2-mile walk.
Yeah.
it wasn't quite $400.
You made a lot of money podcasting.
Joe Biden's inflation hadn't yet hit. And at that time, I was making a lot of money from podcasting, as opposed to now when I'm not making a lot of money from podcasting. Anyways, yeah, so I do get made fun of for coming up with a new hobby and then committing to it by buying the gear, which is the most fun part. And I know you are a man that has gone through many such hobbies. Just the
Right.
ones I know, for instance,
Yeah.
big wine guy.
Correct.
Fly fishing.
Ooh.
Bicycling.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have other ones.
Motorcycles.
Motorcycles. Okay.
Motorcycling.
Fly fishing's a wine guy, bicycling, motorcycling, things I earnestly did. Fly fishing, thing I bought a lot of gear for and then did like twice. That definitely I okay, but listen. Look good, feel good, play good, pay good, my friends. You know, when you have got the gear, you know, you are ready, you're in the zone. I think there's nothing wrong with gearing up.
How many fish did you catch?
I think like one. One time.
I was gonna say zero, but
Listen,
one's
fly,
okay.
You don't go fly fishing to catch fish. It's very difficult. You go.
No, it's
you
like
get a
it's
beautiful-
real fly, man. It's real fly
You
being
go,
a fish, bro.
You go to be in nature, to be surrounded by a babbling brook, something like that.
Okay, be
I'm
honest. Be
okay
honest.
with
How
it.
much
I'm
money
okay.
did you spend?
Well, my wife at the time worked for Patagonia, which has a lot of fly
Got a
fishing
good
gear,
deal?
so I mostly just got it from her. She just got me like
50%
stuff
off?
from her work.
Okay.
So I didn't actually spend that much on it, but I did like accrue a lot of things that got very minimal use. I will admit that. It's like, yeah. So.
I would say the biggest danger is being mistaken for someone that knows more than they actually do.
Oh, huge risk.
Oh, right,
Huge
right.
risk.
You know, like, or Skeets, like someone comes into your basketball run and they're wearing like the newest LeBrons. I guess there's not many like like an AI sleeve.
I mean, if you do roll up in a sleeve and then you suck, I mean,
And then you
like,
suck. Like, it's like,
it does.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of gear like you can accumulate in fly fishing or camping or hiking.
Even cycling.
Yeah.
I mean, when somebody is, but I don't know if somebody has got a nice bike and they've got like a lot of like nice gear on, but I don't know, but they're out there cycling. I mean, I'm like, they're trying, they're giving it their best. I don't know. I'm not that judgy about it.
Yeah, and if you're on a pro bike, it's a nicer bike. It's a better experience. You get what you pay for.
Yeah, but what we're saying here is you should try this sport or
Yes.
activity. Like, if I wanted to try golf, I shouldn't just go buy
Top
the
of
most
the
expensive
line, yeah.
golf clubs to then go golfing. But a lot of people do this because I think they do it for a couple of reasons. One, it's half the fun. Like, getting the gear for whatever thing you want to do is half the fun. And then the other part is, like, you are trying to convince yourself it's going to, like, help the chances that you stick with whatever the activity is.
Right.
Which is
If you
really
spend-
not true.
No,
I don't
it's
think-
not, but that's what I think
there's a
people are
very low
doing to their
correlation.
mind.
But
Yeah.
you're
that's
100%
like-
people delude themselves
Yes.
into thinking that's
Yes.
what's going to happen.
it's like buying the pair of jeans that's a size too small because you are eventually going to
Yeah.
be that size.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Okay? That's toxic. Okay, Gen Z? That's toxic.
Yeah. Thumbs down.
Shop for the body you have, not the body you want.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm saying oh god, I don't even know where I stand on this. I'm gonna say not good because you need to have something to work up to. Like if you already have the top bike and the top what do you call singlet? I don't know what you call those. And the top
Look at my singlet.
Yeah.
the top helmet. Where are you
Bibs.
gonna
You know
work
what they
up
do?
to?
They call them bibs. Is like
Oh,
that.
pelotons. They
Yeah.
call them pelotons.
Yeah.
Drafting in the peloton.
Yes.
What are you saying
no.
right now?
That's what they say.
Oh, okay.
You
Oh,
draft in
you're
the
you're
peloton.
meaning the actual literal group of riders. You're not like trying to
Correct.
make a weird joke about the workout equipment.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to make a joke at all. I take this deathly seriously. All right, JD, what do you want to just give your yes or no on this?
I think it's good. I think it's
Okay.
good. I think you get what you pay for. Even if you're starting golfing, if you can afford it, don't break the bank, obviously. But if you can afford spend an extra $200 on the clubs, I think you'll find them easier to swing, easier to hit the ball. I mean, that's in my experience. But so I'm fine with it.
No. That's big golf, just telling you that.
I'm like somewhere in the
big
middle in a
Titleist.
sense. I think it's nice to start off with some nice stuff, but it's also nice to give yourself goal purchases.
Yeah.
Like get the appropriate equipment so that you can really commit to the
Well,
thing, and then have things where you set some goals and purchase.
See,
nice
I disagree
stuff.
with, I guess, JD. It sounds like Matt, too. Like, the idea of going to get all this gear. You've done it. I hate having things.
Yeah.
Like in my house. I don't want things that I don't use for sure.
Right.
So it's like I gotta be really committed to whatever this thing is for me to then go spend the money on high-end equipment. But I don't like the risk of like, oh yeah, the golf clubs, the fly fishing gear. I don't want it around.
I might like
well,
it.
we
Agree to
buy
disagree. I love buying.
Yeah.
I love.
We
I love
buy to own, you buy to
gear
rent.
shopping.
Yeah. So I think you should slow play it with this stuff. I mean, first off, whatever activity you're interested in, odds are someone in your circle of friends already has tried it and bought the high-end thing and will gladly let you use it to get it the hell out of their own house.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Try this out. See if you like it.
But what about like running though? If you wanted to get into running,
I didn't
you're
go
gonna
and
have-
buy the most expensive running shoes.
yeah, but
the
you're
first time I
gonna.
went
But what
running.
I'm saying is, it's more pleasant to run in a $200 pair of running shoes than say a $50 pair of running shoes. Isn't
Honestly,
it?
I mean, it's for high performance.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Obviously,
yeah,
200
yeah.
is expensive. I would say like 160.
Yeah, but like, so then you're saying, okay, I want to get into cycling, so you should go buy a $5,000 bike because it's the best of the best? Like, no, you shouldn't. You might hate cycling, is the point.
Yeah.
Borrow your
just
friends.
saying.
Rent
You can
one.
also buy. I mean, you can also buy an excellent bike for way less than $5,000.
Yeah.
Right. So I agree that there is a point where if you want to get into biking, you can buy too cheap of a bike that is a poor riding experience. But actually, the entry
turn you
level,
off.
but the entry level for it does not need to break the bank either.
Okay.
Like there, it doesn't. So.
All right, Skeets, what are people saying?
This one is tight. It's our tightest one of
Okay.
the podcast here. Is it good wearing pro gear? I guess it was wearing, not buying, but wearing pro gear when you're a beginner. 53%. Matt, what do you think?
Say it's not good.
That's correct. No, just wins out. But,
Okay.
basically
Look.
50-50.
Yeah, it's close.
We trust these people because they're smart. Because wisdom of crowds. All right, we got to take one more break. But when we come back, we are going to talk about whether it might be good to confront strangers when they're wrong, or perhaps the dangers of it.
Bad news, meatballs. If you've ever wondered whether your CBD was working, that means it probably wasn't. Sorry, but it's true. And that's probably because it wasn't absorbing right, you fool. Which is why Next Evo Naturals developed Smart Sorb technology, clinically proven to help your body absorb CBD 4 times better than regular CBD oil. Because oil and water don't mix, and newsflash, your body is water-based. Yeah, meatball. Smart Sorb technology improves CBD's ability to be absorbed, getting into your system in as little as 10 minutes. Next Evo Naturals are scientifically formulated to deliver more CBD in a way your body can actually use. And yes, it's clinically proven to have 4 times better absorption. So step your absorption up and get your supply of Next Evo Naturals Revive CBD Complex today. The clinically proven Smart Sorb CBD is combined with Next Evo Naturals' patented curcumin blend to promote a healthy inflammatory response and help you feel restored.
Step your absorption game up.
Step it up, meatballs! Get up to 25% off when you subscribe and spend $40 or more at nextevo.com/recover with promo code NODUNKS. That's nextevo.com/recover. Promo code NODUNKS.
Welcome back, guys. When people need help navigating life's biggest decisions, when they're lost, confused, at a crossroads, they seek our wise counsel, and we deliver an airtight verdict. It's time to settle this. All right, this week's email that we're going to be settling goes as follows. Hey guys, last week my fiance and I went to see Don't Worry Darling. As we walk in with our favorite back corner seats already picked out online, we notice a young teenage couple sitting in our pre-selected chairs. So we politely tell them we already picked out the seats hours ago online and show them the tickets on our phone. Taken aback, the couple states that they just bought their seats and they had picked out the back corner minutes prior. After 2 minutes of awkwardly standing there as the young couple scrambles to find their tickets in the woman's purse, I tell my significant other, let's just sit somewhere else, and gesture to the 90% empty theater. We then sit a few rows down as my significant other continues to get more and more angry about the incident. My fiance has been incensed ever since, as I quote, let them get away with thinking they were in the right and we were in the wrong, and I should have at least said, hey, those are our seats, but we'll let you sit in them. So, sure, we were definitely in the right. Those were certainly our seats, but does being a good, polite Canadian boy and sacrificing your seat for any of the other open ones make me the bad guy here? In conclusion, settle this. Am I wrong for not caring about properly calling out random strangers when I'm clearly in the right? That's from Quinn in Vancouver.
Woo.
So, what do you guys think? I mean, I am Quinn's wife in this scenario.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am...
Fiance.
Right, fiance. Thank you, Graydon. I shouldn't have even said wife. Who knows? I'm stewing for all of Don't Worry, Darling. Also stewing because I hear the twist doesn't come until like late in the third act.
All right. Some of us haven't seen
Spoilers.
it.
We're not here. We're not here to talk about that. But it would bother me the entire movie. But at the same time, I don't like confronting people, which is why I spend a lot of my time stewing.
Yeah. yeah.
So what would you have done in this? I feel like I'm trying to think of anyone who would be the most likely to actually say something. Would it be you, Graydon?
I don't know. think so. I feel like I have found myself in this scenario. So just to talk about the way I've actually reacted versus what I theoretically would do. I've shown up to like a basketball game, and it's not the arena's kind of, sparsely populated, and somebody's clearly in my seats. I will normally note that, like, hey, I think you're in my seats. And if they're kind of struggling and it seems like, listen, it's going to be not a big game, it's like, no big deal, we'll just sit here and we just take whatever seats are available. If somebody does show up later, I will go back and be like, hey, I do need to sit in my seats because somebody has arrived and I am now in their seats, but it's, but I've mostly just let it go in real time. So I haven't found myself getting...
We got 4 cucks on this podcast.
The cuck is Quinn, sitting in the back corner of the theater.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't have, like,
what the hell is this the worst seat?
No. I also don't have seats in a theater where I'm like, that's my seat. Like, I've got to sit there. I'm not going to enjoy this movie unless I'm at that... It's not there's better seats than others, but there's ample fine seats in a theater.
Yeah, but I've sat, I think I know where they're talking about because there's...
Yeah, they're talking about the back corner.
Yeah, the back corner, but there's...
I thought he meant like the Vancouver theater.
No. Theaters in general, and maybe this, there's a theater in Toronto that we always used to go to. We would always sit in the back row. The back row, right where the stairs end, right? So it's all, you got all this leg room. There's an unobstructed view of the screen. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with sitting in the back row in that scenario.
Back
is
corner,
what I'm saying.
I don't... Why?
But it's in the corner because there's...
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, whatever.
Oh, I can imagine what you're talking about. Now, you're saying if the stairs go up like the edge.
Yeah, and there's 2 sets of stairs. Yeah, so you're sitting on...
Understood.
Yeah, and that's a great place to sit, and I can understand. And I would 100% get out of my seat.
Okay, here we go.
100%.
Okay.
And I would...
You also don't like confrontation.
I hate confrontation, but when I know I'm right, I love it. I love it. And then you find out, oops, I'm actually in the other corner, which is very embarrassing.
Oh, yeah.
I would say in the times this has happened to me, it's not normally in a movie theater where I don't feel as if I'm selecting my seats ahead of time that often. But when this has happened to me, and I do point it out, most people are embarrassed because they've been caught knowingly sitting in someone else's seat and they just move.
Right.
So I don't end up having to press the issue beyond initially pointing out that they're in my seats, which I do. I don't just see someone and go, oh, well, someone's sitting in my seat. I guess I better go somewhere else. Like, I note it, and most people just move.
Yes.
Right? I mean, like, most people...
I like the idea of noting it.
I mean, like,
I just want to note for you that you are sitting in my seat. I will go sit in another seat, but I just want you to try to sit here for the next 98 minutes knowing
that you took something from me, something I valued.
Skeets, what are you doing? Are you confronting these people, or are you sitting in an empty seat?
If it's empty, like the theater's 90% empty, I'm sitting in another seat, and I don't need to tell them that they were in the wrong. I mean, first off, you are jumping to a small conclusion that they were in the wrong. There could have been an error.
There could have been.
Could have been.
For sure.
No, I trust Quinn. As he says, he's a good, polite Canadian.
No, I'm saying, Cineplex, their computer system messed up and somehow printed duplicates of the same seat. I don't know. It's likely that they just sat in their seats, but, like, who really cares? Like, you don't have... It's not like... Well, okay. You ever gone to a bar and there's, like, at the bar, like, it's engraved for somebody that's, like, a loyal patron?
Sure.
Am I allowed to sit there?
Yes, obviously.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
What happens when that guy shows up?
When Norm arrives?
That's his. That's his seat.
They're often dead, so that's going to solve one big problem that you're having.
Not all the time. Rest in peace to Norm.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Bruce.
Bruce.
Guy could shave a bologna.
He could cut a thin piece of heart.
Oh God! Call them Thin Bruce around here. Okay, but anyway, like my point is, like they're making it sound. Quinn's making it sound like those are their seats. Oh, back corner.
They are their seats.
Well,
they bought those seats.
I mean, like every movie ever played, he's like, "Don't sit in those if I'm not there."
Quinn went to the trouble to buy the tickets in advance, exactly where they wanted to sit.
Right, the worst spot in the theater.
And they were mad about it. That's the point here. They were mad because they wanted those seats. and it ruined the movie experience for them.
His fiance was mad.
Yeah.
Then Quinn
Ironically,
was upset.
seeing a movie called "Don't Worry, Darling."
That's what he should have said.
Yes.
But yeah, I think, feelings matter. And if you're right, you're right. And just go get an usher, and that 13-year-old kid will get them out of your seat if you have to. I mean,
Well, you want to invoke an usher?
Oh,
Walk
I
up
will.
to the
I'll
usher.
invoke
You want a name tag?
You
on the
look
kid.
at his name tag. You say, "Hey, Billy, I could use your help.
Yeah.
There's somebody
down
in
that
my
broom."
seats. Yeah, there's somebody in my seats."
Hey, look! If it is a packed theater, this is different. And
Right.
now, and what
100%.
you were saying, like, you can get yourself in trouble with even at a sporting event. Okay, you're in our seat. All right, we'll sit in your seat, and then it's a domino effect. Now it's like
100%.
now it's a mess. Now it's like
It's pandemonium.
yeah,
with the seats.
and it happens. You see it happen on an airplane, right? Where you're like,
Oh, people start being willy-nilly about airplane seats. You got to get
what
out
is
of
this,
somebody's seat
Spirit?
on an
This is
airplane. You got to
Delta.
get out.
You
of
gotta have the
somebody's
weight. You gotta balance the weight
Yeah.
correctly. You can't just sit wherever
An
you want.
airplane is not a movie theater. If somebody's in your seat in an airplane, it's like,
Ironically,
no,
there are.
go to your seat.
They're
They
tiny
do show
movie
movies.
theaters.
They do show movies. But you can't walk out if you don't like the movie, right? Am I right? Am I right? Okay,
are
Quinn,
so
we've
right.
settled this. You've got to call out strangers. I live in a society.
fight that guy.
We're living in a society. People need to know when they're wrong. Now, does it matter that since the pandemic, there's been a dramatic increase in sort of road rage incidents and people freaking out on each other in public, and that gun sales have gone up, and someone might pull out a gun and kill you. But God, you're gonna die a hero.
Not worth it, Quinn.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't think JD is suggesting you need to fight the guy.
I don't know. I'm not
physically.
saying that. I'm just saying stand your ground until.
Stand your ground.
Stand your ground.
Block him. Block his movie
Excuse my
experience.
phrasing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah.
A part of this is how close are we to the movie starting?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, are you really? You're gonna now ruin your own movie experience.
It's already ruined. It's already ruined, Skeets. I'm sorry, but Quinn took the time. Did you see that novel they wrote?
I mean, they're clearly the
They're
two
upset.
of them are. It weighs heavily on them.
Yes.
There's no two ways about it.
And you stand your ground. You say, hey, you're on my seats. Get out of my seats. Now we're playing a waiting game. I will fuck myself. I will stand there. Lights come down. We're 3 trailers in. I'll be like, get out of my seat. Non-violently, but I'll just be like, I'm not
You're
moving.
gonna I will
That's right.
make a damn scene.
I'll tell you what.
I will make a scene.
Quinn and
Nicole
his
Kidman's
fiance.
on, and you can't even see her to participate in the stupid meme that everyone loves her going to the movies. We come to whatever the fuck she says.
He better, Quinn and his fiance at this forthcoming wedding better have assigned seating. It better not be up for grabs. You can sit wherever you want.
No, they'll have a seating chart. They'll have a seating chart.
He better follow it by the book, to the T. Yeah.
Okay, Quinn. Thank you for writing. We have to move on to a little segment we call Subjective Trivia. Yes, it's subjective trivia. It's just like regular trivia, except only I know the answer. As always, guys, I have the answer written here on this cue card, not cheating.
Yep.
Today's question, to follow up on the emoji topic, what is the best emoji? ...
Yeah.
From the hand section. So, JD, put up the hand section.
This is
Okay,
helpful.
here we got our.
So we're looking at it here. If you're just listening, take out your phone, play along. We're just looking at the hand section.
Wow.
So as you guys are thinking about it, we have some classics like the thumbs up, the thumbs down, the dap, the rock out, the pointing.
It's a
the
spicy
prayer hands,
one.
or the high fives. Yeah, the Italian chef. So what is the best emoji? Talk it out. 60 seconds are on the clock.
Jeez, we got a lot to pick from, guys.
I haven't seen some of these.
Which ones are you unfamiliar?
Yeah, what's
I haven't
new to
seen
you?
the little inch, the little this much,
little short dick.
the little short
yeah.
dick one.
Yeah, too short. The too short.
That might be Matt's favorite.
What's the one? What's this one? What's the one where it's kind of like it's just to the left of the short dick?
It looks like a snap. Is it a
that a
snap?
No, I think that's the money. The
Oh, we're in the
money.
money.
Rubbing your
Yeah,
forefinger
$1 million
to your
man,
thumb.
baby.
Yeah, I mean, like, and the one actually below the short dick, also weird, just like a limp hand. Also kind of a weird one.
Yeah.
I mean, my initial reaction would have been Italian hand gesture.
Ooh,
Okay.
Wow.
You know,
okay, it's a nice one.
It's
It is a
nice
fun one.
It's fun.
Is it too? Yeah.
Recently added. It was within the last year. I'd
What
say
about the Shaka? What about like the?
Oh, that's a Trey Kirby hot one right now in the Kirby.
but I think Matt likes
The
to
hang
imagine
loose?
himself
Hang
as
loose.
very chill, despite holding on to say an incident in an Italian restaurant for 5
Okay,
years. He
okay.
imagined himself as the type of chill guy who throws
he's
out a
not throwing
shaka.
up chills.
Yeah.
Signs. No.
Okay. All right. Now
He lives in
remember,
California now. He lives in California. He's very
let's narrow it down to
Okay.
the color, the shaded ones, right? Get rid of all the yellows because this is from Matt's own spray.
Oh, JD.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
So JD, you're saying this is from Matt's phone himself. I was about to ask, why do we have Simpson-colored emojis and white people emojis
Yeah.
here? Why are they mixed in? That's what's going
I
on.
think that's what's happening.
So it's the 2 thumbs up, it's the fist bump, it's the, I guess, a clap,
finger, the
rock out, yeah.
No, what about the one finger up?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Like kind of an
Number one?
excuse
Yeah.
me, like an interjection type one.
Excuse me.
I think that I could see Matt wanting to interject in his own text conversations.
Yes.
Okay, here's what I actually think it is. I think it is either the hand clap, right?
Yep.
Or is it the pray or the high five? In the blue over there.
Oh.
Okay, you have 5 seconds to
All
give
right,
me. a name.
So do you have
I want to say prayer.
Well, hold on.
Wow.
So that's a high five. I always
Well,
thought
some
that was
people-
prayer.
some- people
no,
think it's-
I think of it as praying hands emoji because I think it's kind of it's like a mocking thanks sometimes,
Yeah.
which to me is a very Matt attitude.
Wow.
Jesus, am I Gen Z? I'm starting to hate emojis.
Oh, man. Okay, JD, what do you think?
Okay, so you're saying the high five / pray,
Yeah.
or the clap? is
I
it?
sort of think so.
I'm with you on clap. I want to make a pitch for the hang loose because he's a California guy now. He drinks tequila and
my God.
all that. But since we both said clapping, I'm gonna.
I'm okay. Are we answering as a
Yeah,
group? I can
yeah.
go with clap. I can accept.
Really? We're going clap?
I don't know. I don't feel
have to.
good about
I
it.
know. Okay, but let's just lock one in here. You really want to
No,
go
I don't.
hang loose?
I don't really
no,
believe
he's
it.
not.
I don't-
I don't
I-
really believe it's this. I just want it to be.
All right, let's go clap.
Okay, clap. Final answer.
God, this one was.
So first of all, let me just say that your theory about the white hands and the yellow hands is wrong.
Oh no, we went backwards.
Oh,
Yes, and I've
No.
drawn my favorite emoji. You were wrong, and
Oh, no.
this is it.
just
Just a straight strong arm.
Wait,
Now,
you're-
not the bionic arm.
No, it's the flex. The guy
It's the
flexing.
flexing.
Oh,
That's
I thought it was
It's my
sperm
favorite-
whale.
This is look. I drew this and I was like, I should probably do that again.
Were
I was
you-
like, I'm honestly not going to be able
Were
to
you
do it better than-
California sober when you drew it? Like, look at that. Like, what is that?
Okay, so here's my pitch.
Okay.
The most useful emoji is the thumbs up, as we discussed, because you're just you're agreeing, giving assent. To me, the flexed arm is just a souped up thumbs up.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like someone's like, I just got this promotion at work. You're like, boom, like,
Strong.
yeah, strong.
Hell yeah.
Now, I'm not ever using it to be like, hey, I'm going to the gym. I'm using it to basically say like, you did a great job, or someone saying thank you to me, and I'm saying, yeah, strong.
Tough.
You know,
Strong.
we did
Yeah.
it.
Tough.
Yeah.
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 No,
Yeah.
it's a great emoji.
It is a good
for
emoji.
sure.
Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah.
Anyway, so wherever you're using a thumb, try using the bicep flex.
Hey, boss, sent that email.
Boom.
Strong.
I apologize, guys. I had to narrow it down somehow, so I went with the color shaded.
It was a nice working
emojis.
theory.
It was. It was.
a nice
No, it was a good theory.
But we just
It was
had
a
it.
good theory.
We just had it backwards, I guess. Yeah.
Well, thanks for playing along. Remember to subscribe to the new Is This Good feed. The show would not be possible without the listeners because you guys send in amazing topics and settle these questions. You vote in the polls. You write me emails about why I'm wrong about Disney adults. And now that we have our own space, our own feed, come over and help us build the community. It's going to be really fun. Again, we're going to have great guests on and some fun little extra stuff that will be revealed in the future. And if you have topics, tweet them in to me at StartersMatt or email us at isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Graydon, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Great job on your maiden voyage.
Yeah.
I'm glad we squashed that beef.
Yeah, we can put that to rest.
That one-sided beef. I guess you were the only one that ordered the beef, so that's... I guess in that case, I was the only one.
Oh, you were the squash, he was the beef?
Yeah.
Is that what you ordered?
So, Graydon, I'll give you the first dibs here. Do you have anything to promote?
No, I mean, next week we'll be back with No Breaks. I think it'll probably be Tuesday or Wednesday. Normally it's Tuesday. Trey, Kirby, and I discussing the United States Grand Prix coming up this weekend.
Austin.
So join us, Austin, my hometown.
Oh.
Join us next week. Right here from the Classic Factories, we'll be discussing the race. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
That's right. If you love cars.
If you like speedy race cars, they go left, they go right, they go forward.
Yeah, but this race, I mean, yes, it's about the race, it's about the cars, but this one in Austin, here in America,
Oh.
I mean, it's all about the hijinks. It's all about the
It's the good old
celebrities.
US of
It's
A.
the
It
large-
is.
Didn't
There's gonna be
Shaq
some
show up last
good-
year?
Shaq
Yeah.
was towering over
Yeah.
the podium winners. Yeah, it's going to be mostly about the goofy people who show up and
Yeah.
do weird things.
And the season's basically over. though.
Yeah,
Max
I
is
would
fine.
say
Max
it's not a we're not looking at a very competitive
Yeah.
Right.
remainder of the season.
Okay, sounds good, Skeets. Oh, the NBA season has begun.
Oh, yeah, it has. Join us daily, 10 a.m. Eastern, here on No Dunks YouTube. We go live every morning, and then it's flipped into a podcast. I will do my best to get these new Is This Good links to the YouTube feed, to the podcast feeds. I'll try and incorporate them into this show. We'll try and do that for the next couple. But like Matt said, very much encourage you guys to go subscribe to the separate Is This Good YouTube and podcast feeds. Can't wait.
Well, actually, I just looked it up on Spotify. It's still not showing up when I type in Is This Good, but it is showing up when I type in Matt Austin or Matthew Austin.
Weird.
I will get in touch with customer service over there, and me and Daniel Eck will have a very strongly worded disagreement.
Okay.
But
Now, is it just Is This Good without the block parenthesis, or what are we doing?
No, I just Is This Good with a question mark.
Okay.
It's not showing up.
Suspicious.
Okay, get at me. Spotify, but it's available everywhere else. Thanks for listening. Skeets, you finish your promotions? You
Yeah. I mean, we just do shows all the
Just
time.
listen
I just
every
live
week.
Listen
here.
up, baby. NBA's back.
NBA's back. Thanks for listening for everyone. I'm Matt Austin, and this was good. See you next week in the new feed.